Hey guys, welcome back to Nature's Cadence Farm. Today I'm going to be showing you our new to us tractor, and this is actually a Case 1494. And I'm just going to give you a quick kind of walk around and show you a few things that are or were wrong with it when I got it, and a few things that are going to be on the upcoming videos for things that I'll be fixing on it. So that'll be cool. So let's get started. We'll give you a little walk around real quick and show you all the cool stuff about this. So here's the 4-cylinder engine, and this is a British tractor that was made overseas, and it looks like this frame and everything has been repainted at some point in its life. You can kind of see here on these wheels. I saw it someplace. Yeah, you can see a little overspray here, and maybe on the other side you can see the old paint kind of flaking out from underneath of it there. And you can see, I believe the original color was orange, but you know it's hard to tell. But there's the brakes and clutch over there, fuel shut off, ignition, hand throttle up here. The horn, light switch over here, and this model has this synchro mesh transmission, so it has the 3 speeds here, and then high, low, and then the turtle. This is the turtle rabbit lever here, and yeah, so there's PTO engage right here, and that's for the clutch for the PTO, and that's the parking brake here. This lever here, it's actually got a mechanical parking brake there. And again, all these models are a little bit different. We've got a differential lock right here. Sorry, my shadow's in the way there. It's a differential lock, and I kind of took me a little bit to figure everything out, but not, it's not complicated by any means. I got dual remotes here. One's a momentary, the other one's they call it a detent style, so that's kind of nice. And this is the 3-point lower and the 3-point raise. You can move it back there. This is kind of a little loose. It's kind of somebody had put a bolt in here. It's not the exact kind of thing that should be in there, and some things were broken and missing. You can see I'm still trying to sort everything out with that. Let's go around to the back here. I'll show you the back. I've got a box blade on here now. This is just a little for this tractor, but a little 5-foot box blade. I'm sure it could take quite a bit bigger. It has no trouble pulling around that one. So here's the remotes. You can see one of them is slightly leaking. A little bit. I accidentally hit the lever up there when I was moving the 3-point up and down. And this has the multiple settings here for your draft control. I still haven't quite got that figured out. I'm sure this is supposed to attach to this, but this is broken off here, so that's something else that doesn't work. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, PTO. It's got a 2-speed PTO, so 540, and this is the type you have to pull out the shaft with these 4 bolts and flip it around to give you 1000 RPM on that. So that's a nice option. Some of them have a gear shift that actually you just shift it. This one does not. It was an option. Here's the sway bar blocks, they call them. And the blocks, you set the depth. I don't have them set right now. I was getting ready to take this off the box blade, and there's some of the parking brake linkages, hydraulic brake cylinder for your brakes, and again it has a mechanical override. There's a lever right there for your parking brake. It had a trailer wiring harness, which is kind of neat, but that hasn't been used in a very, very long time and was kind of just floating around here. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but it looks like it's, yeah, So something else. This is the PTO Engage cable. This is broken. I have a new one of these. Oh, that brings me to, this is the PTO Engage lever right here. There's a lever, you pull it back to engage and push it forward to disengage. So without having that clutch cable, there's no way to engage the PTO without grinding the gears and things. So I really need to get that in there in case I need to run something with the PTO. So that's that. Let's see over here. See if I can show you where that paint, you can kind of see where it was peeling a little bit, but either way. Fuel tank was over on that side. This is the other tank here for fuel, so it has kind of like saddle tanks, but not really. I guess you could call them that. Here's another view of the operator station. Gear shift lever, differential lock, high and low, and turtle and rabbit. So it actually gives you like 12 forward, 3 reverse, or 4 reverse, I think it is. PTO engage, which the cable is not working on that parking brake here. Let's see here. Here's the fuel pump side of things. And the filters. I haven't changed all the filters and serviced it all yet, but I will eventually. That's going to happen, and we'll get some videos on that. And there's where you would fill your engine oil. And let's see here, maybe I'll pop the hood. We can check it up underneath the hood there. So there's your front tire. Hydraulic steering, you can see the cylinder in there, the shiny part right there, and the hoses going to it, and the steering works fairly well. It's strong, you know. The whole front end of this thing had been severely damaged, it looks like. I'm not sure if it was ran into something or looked like that from the get-go, from when I got it from the guy or whatever. But you know, headlights, this is all kind of funky. I'm thinking about building a maybe an expanded metal front end that has pins, because I like to be able to disconnect the battery when I don't need it. It kind of, I don't know, makes me feel better. I don't know. It probably doesn't have any draw on it, but it's one of those things that would be nice. And yeah, so if I made an expanded metal grill with maybe pins and pins in the bottom with like hinges, where I could unpin it from the top, and then it, you know, it folds down. We'll see. Well, either way, air filter is kind of perplexing me, because the intake is right here, but there's a hole in the hood for the actual air cleaner to go. So I don't know if this is another air intake, or if there was some kind of tube that connected the two, but all that was gone when I got it. So if you guys know, just let me know. I'd love to know how that works. So here's another shot here of the engine side, this right hand side of the engine. Alternator belt needs to be replaced. Looks like it got chewed by a squirrel or something. It's in pretty rough shape, but I'll get that. Looks like I might have a valve cover leak or something up there. I'll probably end up adjusting the valves one day, so that's what I'll do with that. Looks like it's got a fairly new starter on it. That's kind of nice. The wiring on here is questionable, but it's working for now, except for the gauges. None of the gauges work, RPM included. So that's something else I want to figure out. So let's get this hood open. We'll look underneath the hood. So you got to pull the exhaust off, and that just slips on. I usually just lay it right there, and then the front end of it here, you pick up here and slide it forward, and then you can tilt it. So here's a quick look underneath the hood. There's your air intake. Goes through the cold side of your turbo, and looks like the hot side of your turbo there. There's that air filter assembly, radiator. Yeah, it looks like some injector stuff here. Return lines, all that. Just showing you you know, what it kind of looks like if you were wondering what's going on. So back here we've got our brake cylinders, our master cylinders for the brakes. These are, you know, since it's hydraulic, reservoir for your brakes and reservoir for your clutch over here. And this is the balancing valve inside of here, and way over here, if you can see my finger wiggling kind of down inside of there. There we go. That's your clutch cylinder, or your master cylinder for your clutch. So everything looks good with those. I do have a brake leak, and I believe it's leaking into the final drive on the right hand side, but I'm going to pull all those apart and see if I can figure out what's going on, because I keep losing fluid, but it's not dripping anywhere. It's the only place I can figure it's going. So yeah, so the back of the instrument cluster, I'm sure it's something wiring related. This is why things aren't working correctly. There's a wire loose up here. I'm not sure if that feeds everything, but I got the service manual for this. I might show you that real quick. I'll provide a link down below in the description real quick, so you can kind of see what's going on. Let's get up underneath of here. We'll take a look. All right, so here's the front end here of the tractor. There's your cylinder, and looks like a grease fitting there, and hydraulic hoses going to your for your power steering, oil pan for your engine right here. This is the where you would take the filter out for your transmission. There's a filter underneath of here, and looks like you've got some hydraulic lines here for the steering, or for, I'm sorry, for the pump there. And let's see here, yep, your fuel tanks. There's your skid plates underneath there. I don't know if you can see, that one's kind of bent. Looks like somebody ran it over top of a stump or something. That thing is tore up. But yeah, so that's it. Pretty good shape. Not a whole lot of major leaks, which was a bonus. You know, you never know getting these old pieces of equipment what you'll run into. So all in all, happy with the tractor. It's got a lot of power. So let's go back up and check out things up here again. Here's a service manual that I got for this tractor that is an absolute just gem. See, it comes in 2 volumes, volume 1, volume 2. And here's all the contents that it has. It's just really nice. And here's volume 2, and has all these nice nice things in there. This is going to be super helpful. I'll just give you a quick little introduction here of what it is. You know, kind of how it explains things. It's just invaluable, really. I mean, if you're going to be working on this yourself, there's no replacement for something like this. So this is kind of where I got the idea of how to look at that number plate to give you an idea of where you're at. So they also have, like, 4-cylinder tractors have you know, there's a couple of different models. The 1494 is the one I have. So yeah, there's a link for this down below. You can check that out. Like I said, it came in these 3-ring binders with all this information, and yeah, really highly recommend it. Alright guys, well, there's just a quick overview of this tractor. Again, this is a Case 1494. Kind of the first big boy tractor I've ever had. I've used them, but I've never owned one. So it's kind of neat. You know, I've had some smaller ones. We had a Ford 1320, and they had access to a Kubota B7500, I believe. Yeah, which you guys have seen some of those videos on the Kubota. That was actually my grandparents' tractor, so that was nice to have for a little while. And the 1320 we had gotten and sold before we started making videos, so I don't have any. Maybe I have a picture. Maybe I'll throw a picture in here somewhere so you can see. That's a nice little tractor. It was handy. It did a whole lot of work. So, alright. Well, That's about it from me today, guys. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for some more videos about this tractor and the other equipment we have on the channel. So thank you so much for subscribing. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. How much we appreciate that as my wife, Mrs. Cadence, and I. We just, it just is mind-blowing that people actually want to watch this stuff. You know what I mean? So anyways, let me know what you think. Shoot me a comment there. If you got any ideas or things to look out for on this tractor, please let me know. If it's, hey, check this out, check that out, or I know all about that thing. Let me tell you all about it. We might, I might have some questions or something like that. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.